Okay, so in the last video, we learned how to get started with our code editor, VS Code, this one, and how we were able to create a folder with an index.html, very important index.html, open that in our code editor, write some basic HTML, and then render it in our browser by dragging the file into the browser. Whoop, there it is. So now what we're going to do is just going to do that again, okay? So I'm just going to delete that file. No, I'm not. I'm actually just going to change something, okay? Just a minute. Closed it. It's silly. All right. So now I showed you the shortcut for how to do this. I told you I was going to show you the shortcut, but I haven't done that. So what you can do in VS Code is you can just write an exclamation mark. Look at this. Emmet abbreviation. Emmet is a really cool tool that allows you to just write very shorthand, and you'll get a whole output. So you have to press exclamation mark and then the tab button, which is above the caps lock button on most keyboards, and you'll get everything you need for your document. Isn't that cool? Right, okay, so you recognize a lot of this from before. The HTML tag has the additional attribute of the language, EN, and I'm just going to put EN GB because we're in Britain here. There's a couple of other things I'm not going to explain. All right, that's just meta information. Remember, it's in the head of the document, so it doesn't actually show up on our page. This is the title. Excuse the aeroplanes, they seem to be going a bit nuts today. Dogfights and all the rest of it. So this is the title. This is the thing that appears. So if I save this now and then reload my page again, see document. So now I can put Ben's website. Yeah, and it will refresh the page and it'll show up there. Okay, now, so remember this is all in the head, so it doesn't show up. This stuff does. H1, hello, and file and save. Remember to save it, and then go to your browser, press the refresh button, and it'll show up. Okay, HTML has what's called attributes. Let me just tidy this up a minute. An attribute is kind of like what you see here, right? You've got the tag, and then you've got charset UTF-8. That's the way it's interpreting the text on the page, right? And this is doing something else. So what you've got here is you've got a way of providing extra information to your HTML tag for it to render. Okay, and you do this particularly with images. Source. All right, an image is just like that or just like that, whatever takes your fancy. And now we can provide a source to that image, which I haven't prepared in advance again, so I'll just go and do that right away. Here's a nice one. Hold on. Right, instead of downloading my image this time, I'm just going to directly link to it here. So do you see I've actually linked directly to the source. Now if I refresh my page here, you should see a rather large image of a nice pussycat. Yes. So I haven't downloaded the image, but if I do that, if I just go to my web page where I find this beautiful image of this pussycat, I can save the image. Now you must be careful about what images you're saving, of course. But my folder is on my desktop, my website. I'm just going to call it cat. Actually, what is it? It is a JPEG, I think. JPEG, yes. Now there are different kinds of image formats. JPEG is popular. You may have seen .png as well. This is a JPEG, so I'm just going to make sure that it's called WebP. Oh well, that might work. Let's try that. Cat.webp. Now instead of going to the web and getting that image and then bring it back for me, what this is doing is it's going to look in my local folder, because I haven't declared any kind of HTTP protocol or anything for that. It's just going to look in my local folder, and it still works. Look, bit big though. If I wanted it smaller, 100%, and that will scale the image to the width of the screen. You can also do other measurements here, like pixels, which will make it really quite small. Probably, right, that's okay, 600 pixels. But You can also specify a height. But it would be really silly to do this, 10 pixels, because then we get a very squashed cat. Okay? Squashed. So maybe just do 100% height. And that will always then scale to the right height. Okay, so that's basically how to use attributes for HTML tags so that you can customize your code a little bit. Now this is in addition to something called CSS, which we'll talk about later. But HTML tags, there's a lot of them. Okay, you've got, as well as titles, which we did, I showed you briefly, paragraphs. Okay, and you've also got loads of other stuff. But if you go to this website, MDN developer mozilla.com, you'll find loads of stuff, HTML. Right, these are all the HTML elements you can have. Right, and it might be worth your while just having a look, because look, there's audio there, there's video, there's lists. Loads of stuff. You can do loads with HTML. One more I did want to show you actually that I forgot was this one. This is possibly the most important HTML tag out there, a href. And then you have some click. And the A is an anchor or a link tag. So so because I've specified now a href attribute, that when I click that link, it will go to that site that I've specified. And that is the whole reason it's called HTTP. Or HTML, sorry, hypertext markup language. Hypertext is this, the ability to link to other things. So now, not only have you got a document, but you've got a way of linking relevant documents together. And that was a revolutionary thing back in the day. It still is quite incredible, and it gives you a massive amount of flexibility for networking. Okay, so that's HTML in a nutshell. I'm going to go on to create one for CSS, so I'll see you in that one.